Today, we're diving into a topic that's been gaining a lot of attention lately, vitamin K2. Specifically, we'll be breaking down the differences between MK4 and MK7, two of the most popular forms of vitamin K2. If you're curious about how these nutrients can benefit your health and which one you should consider adding to your routine, stick around. Let's get started. Vitamin K2 is a fat-soluble vitamin, part of the larger vitamin K family. While vitamin K1 is primarily known for its role in blood clotting, vitamin K2 is crucial for a variety of functions, especially in bone and cardiovascular health. It's often referred to as the activator vitamin because it activates proteins that are essential for binding calcium in the bones and preventing calcium deposits in arteries. Alright, let's talk about the two main forms of vitamin K2 that you'll find in supplements, MK4 and MK7. First, MK4, or minoquinone 4, is a short-chain form of vitamin K2. It is naturally found in animal-based foods like meat, eggs, and dairy. MK4 has a short half-life, which means it stays in the body for only a few hours, so it needs to be taken more frequently. Despite its shorter duration, MK4 is the form of vitamin K2 that has been most studied for its role in bone health and reducing the risk of fractures. Now, MK7, or minoquinone 7, is a long-chain form of vitamin K2. This one is mainly found in fermented foods, like natto, a traditional Japanese dish. MK7 has a much longer half-life than MK4, staying active in the body for up to 3 days. This means it can be taken once daily. Studies have shown that MK7 is particularly effective at reducing arterial stiffness and promoting cardiovascular health. So, why are these forms of vitamin K2 important for our health? For bone health, both MK4 and MK7 activate osteocalcin, a protein that helps bind calcium to bones, making them stronger. MK4 has been specifically linked to reduce fracture risk in osteoporosis patients. For heart health, MK7 helps activate matrix GLA protein, MGP, which inhibits calcium from depositing in the arteries. This helps reduce the risk of arterial calcification and keeps our cardiovascular system healthy. Now, let's understand how vitamin K2 enhances the function of vitamin D. Vitamin D is well known for its role in calcium absorption. It boosts the levels of calcium in your blood by enhancing the absorption from your diet in the intestines. This calcium is then ready to be utilized by the body to build and maintain strong bones and teeth. However, having high calcium levels in the blood is only part of the story. Without proper regulation, this calcium can end up in places where it's not supposed to be, like your arteries, leading to potential problems like arterial calcification. And this is where vitamin K2 steps into the spotlight. Vitamin K2 is like the traffic controller of calcium. It activates specific proteins that regulate where calcium ends up in your body. These proteins are osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein, or MGP for short. Let's see how these proteins work. First, let's talk about osteocalcin. This protein is produced by osteoblasts, the cells responsible for bone formation. Osteocalcin needs vitamin K2 to activate it. Once activated, osteocalcin binds calcium and integrates it into the bone matrix, enhancing bone density and strength. Without vitamin K2, osteocalcin remains inactive, and the calcium doesn't efficiently bind to the bone, leaving it vulnerable to fractures and osteoporosis. Next, we have matrix GLA protein, MGP, a powerful inhibitor of calcification in soft tissues. MGP is found in the walls of blood vessels and requires vitamin K2 for activation. Once activated, MGP binds to calcium, preventing it from being deposited in the arterial walls. This action helps keep our arteries flexible and free from dangerous calcification. Without sufficient vitamin K2, MGP remains inactive and calcium can start to accumulate in the arteries, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease. To put it simply, vitamin D ensures we have enough calcium in our system, but it's vitamin K2 that directs the traffic, ensuring this calcium goes to the right places, into our bones, not our arteries. When vitamin D raises calcium levels, the body needs vitamin K2 to ensure that calcium gets directed to bones and teeth, rather than causing harmful buildup in the arteries and other soft tissues. This synergistic relationship is why balancing these vitamins is so important. High levels of vitamin D without adequate vitamin K2 could lead to calcium imbalance, potentially causing more harm than good. So, the next time you're considering your vitamin intake, remember that it's not just about getting enough vitamin D. It's about having the right amount of vitamin K2 to support and enhance its functions. To sum it up, Think of vitamin D as the calcium delivery driver and vitamin K2 as the GPS. One without the other can lead to a lot of misdirection. Together, they ensure your calcium is delivered to the right place, promoting stronger bones and a healthier heart. In summary, while both MK4 and MK7 support bone and cardiovascular health, they do so in slightly different ways. MK4 is absorbed quickly and used by our tissues, making it beneficial for bone health. MK7, with its longer half-life, provides a more sustained effect, particularly beneficial for heart health. Now, the million-dollar question: which one should you take? The answer depends on your specific health needs. If you're focusing on bone health, particularly if you're at risk for osteoporosis or have a history of fractures, MK4 might be your best bet. If you're more concerned about heart health and preventing arterial calcification, MK7 could be the way to go. Of course, it's always best to consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement. They can provide guidance based on your individual health profile and needs. Don't forget, you can also get vitamin K2 from your diet. Incorporating foods like leafy greens, meats, dairy, and fermented products can help you maintain healthy levels of this vital nutrient. MK4 is primarily found in animal-based foods and is synthesized in small amounts in some animal tissues. Common food sources include animal liver, beef liver, chicken liver, and pork liver are rich sources. Egg yolks, especially from free-range or pasture-raised chickens. Dairy products, full-fat cheeses like Gouda, Brie, and Edam, butter, and cream, particularly those from grass-fed animals. Meat, especially chicken thighs, beef, and pork. Fish, certain types, such as eel, contain MK4. Butter, preferably from grass-fed cows. MK7 is primarily found in fermented foods, particularly those that are fermented using specific strains of bacteria. Common food sources include natto, a traditional Japanese dish made from fermented soybeans. Natto is the richest known source of MK7. Fermented vegetables. Certain pickled and fermented vegetables like sauerkraut can contain MK7, depending on the fermentation process and bacterial strains used. Cheese. Some fermented cheeses like Gouda and Edam contain MK7, although in lower quantities compared to natto. Fermented soy products. Other than natto, some fermented soy products may contain small amounts of MK7, though typically not as high. Here are some general tips for maximizing vitamin K2 intake. Number 1. Choose grass-fed products. Dairy and meat from grass-fed animals typically have higher levels of vitamin K2. Number 2. Incorporate fermented foods. Including a variety of fermented foods like natto, certain cheeses, and sauerkraut can boost your intake of MK7. Lastly, number 3. Balance with vitamin K1. Green leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, and broccoli are high in vitamin K1, which complements the action of K2. That's it for today's video. I hope you found this breakdown of vitamin K2, MK4, and MK7 helpful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Know Nature for more health and wellness content.